All right, and we're back with another edition of the Scotty No Show. On this week's episode, we got Bryson filling in for Ian. Uh, Bryson, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Scotty?
Why are you acting all goofy right off the bat?
Dude, I'm just in a good mood, man.
Yeah?
It's just been a good week.
Oh yeah. What's been happening for you?
Well, last night, Northern had a music competition between all of like the music majors.
Mm-hmm.
But since I take lessons with one of the guys, I got to compete as well, and I got second last night, which was
Ooh.
kind of kind of exciting because there were a lot of seniors competing, so that was kind
Oh,
of cool.
okay. Um, obviously we heard about the Blink 182 concert and everything that you went on last week.
Dude,
Um,
that was
yeah,
legit.
how was that?
Uh, Blink this summer was great. Streetlight a week or two ago also was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
would definitely recommend. Blink is probably my favorite concert I've been to so far, and I think I've been to five now.
didn't you also do something at Crazy Horse or something? I saw something like
I went to
that.
Sublime with Rome and Deadwood.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. How was that?
Yeah. Uh if I got to see all of it, it would have been better, but Ticketmaster had the time wrong, so I missed most of the show. I paid like $70 to see about seven songs, so I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
cool.
$10 a song right there.
I mean, they
So,
were all pretty good, but
hmm
no, it was pretty whatever.
something that we didn't really talk about last week. We talked like a year or so ago about our New Year's resolutions.
Okay,
And one of my things was I wanted to listen to more newer music, and I think I've kind of accomplished that.
okay. What have you been listening to, Scotty?
Well, I've been, trying to broaden my horizons a little bit.
Okay,
But also I listen to more old music that I never knew existed.
okay.
So,
That's cool.
that said, some of my favorite bands, my favorite songs from them have changed.
Okay,
So,
like what songs? What songs?
so it went from My Friends Over You by Newfound Glory. That used to be my
Awesome
favorite
song.
song.
Hmm.
It's now Failure's Not Flattering.
Okay, I don't think I've
Yeah.
heard that one.
Oh, it's freaking awesome. And
I'm
then
pretty partial to Vicious Love. That one's probably my favorite by Newfound Glory.
my favorite All American Reject song went from probably Move Along to
Hmm.
Mona Lisa.
Okay, I definitely do not know that one.
Yeah.
Is that newer or is
Uh,
that
That
older?
that's on the I think that's on the same album as Gives You Hell. I could be wrong.
Okay, so a little newer, but not like newer.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that concert was awesome, obviously.
Yeah,
But
that that looked like a great show.
it was.
Lots of
I
lots of really cool bands.
I didn't expect to see Newfound Glory do a cover of Frozen, of um Let It Go, but from Frozen.
Ugh, I think I like Newfound Glory a little less now. I
He
can't stand Frozen.
their lead singer dressed up as Elsa.
Oh, gross. I used to think he was cool.
Yeah, and then yeah, I mean they did I think three covers that night. They did that. They
Okay.
did King of Wishful Thinking.
Do love that
Um,
song.
I love that song.
Dude,
And
that's a great song.
then they did a cover of Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer.
Okay. I
That
don't
that's
know if
that
I know.
that's that Kiss Me Under the Milky Twilight. Live me. That
Oh, I
song.
know that, Scotty.
Oh yeah, you're young. I forget about that.
Yeah, I
Um
am. I don't know. I feel older. 22 feels, I don't know.
Jesus Christ, you're getting up. Damn.
I know, dude.
What the
You
hell?
get a nursing home soon.
Son of a bitch. Anyways, um, this past weekend was obviously the state football championship weekend. Did you watch any of the games?
Uh, I saw bits and pieces. I saw a lot of highlights, but I didn't actually watch the games.
Okay. Well, there was two kind of big takeaways, I feel like,
Okay.
from that. Well, three. I mean, Hot Springs won
Hot
state.
Springs winning was pretty cool.
Yeah. But the two big takeaways that have gotten a little bit of attention nationally are Warner winning 76 to 54 over Dubrook.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that
where did that go nationally? I saw that you said something about that, but
um Barstool was talking about it a little
Barstool.
bit.
Okay,
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it took them a couple tries to pronounce Dubrook correctly,
That's all right.
um, which is hilarious to me. But yeah. Um, and then they Pier won their seventh straight state title, eighth overall, I believe. Um,
Okay.
Excuse me. Dang, Jones Soda getting to me here.
Ooh, having a Jones, Scotty?
Yeah.
Those are good. I haven't had one of those in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Orange one?
Yeah, the chocolate orange.
Ooh, chocolate orange. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that
Uh,
new?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Um,
Have
but,
you have you done a review on that?
I kind of said that tastes like the Terry's chocolate orange. You know, that little chocolate orange that you might sometimes get around this time of
Okay.
year. It also kind of tastes a lot like have you ever gotten a box of chocolates and got that one chocolate that has the orange cream in the middle?
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
I don't know if I'd like that then. The
It's very
regular orange cream soda is, or
yeah.
I don't, is it orange creamsicle? Is that what the flavor is? I can't remember what exactly the
Oh,
regular Jones orange is,
I
but
think it's just orange cream.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that one's pretty darn good.
yeah. Um, but Pier, they won their seventh straight title. Um, how do you feel about that?
You know, it's personally, I can't relate to it at all. Lyman hasn't ever really had like a dynasty of anything, but I think like being a part of that would be really really cool. I
Yeah,
definitely like can like have felt envious of other teams and like seeing them go on like crazy winning streaks like that. So like for Pier, that's got to be really really cool. Like having that standard of excellence in football is pretty darn cool. So hats off to them. That's pretty amazing.
but them winning that title has unfortunately brought up the eternal debate of football classifications in the state. And some people think that Pier should move up. Other people are just more envious of are saying, like, hey, maybe these other teams should, build, a culture kind of like what Pier has.
I think it's
What
got to be more of that
what's
because like
that?
I think it's got to be more of other teams have to build a bigger culture around it. But I mean, if if class is based on because class, to my understanding, has always been based off of enrollment numbers and
Yep.
not skill level. Because if that's the case, why has Canton been allowed to be a B school for the last 5 years?
Yeah.
I so I think it's either got to be I think it's got to be enrollment numbers. Like if you're mad that they're on a streak, maybe start it. Maybe build have a better culture to try and find a way to beat them. But I I don't think changing the class is the way to go about it.
Okay. There is one team in 11 AA that um has gotten a little bit of flack, just one team, honestly, and that's Douglas. Um
It's so
Douglas,
hard though with those like
yeah,
those rapid schools, like the rapid schools, the Sioux Falls, like you're gonna run into that, like with classification.
yeah. But the thing with Douglas is they are also on an Air Force base.
Okay.
Yeah, they're Ellsworth Air Force Base is right there. That's where they get, I would guess, a predominant large amount of their students.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to kind of build consistency at a place like that.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Yeah. Um, one thing though that I've noticed, and this is just it's not a classification thing, it's a playoff thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to look at, who we're letting into these playoffs
Yeah,
because
I
there
think.
there are some teams that did not deserve to be a playoff team that got into the
Yeah.
playoffs based off of how many, things, teams that they're supposed to let in. I
Like,
actually did some research here.
okay.
Um, there's 88 playoff teams in amongst all the main classes, not counting the All Nations Conference.
Yeah.
Um, and 31 of those teams had losing records, which is 35% of the playoff teams.
Yeah. And like if your team is not granted, some teams play tougher schedules, which I think should be taken into consideration. However, it's like I don't know. I I think there needs to be it should be cut in half. I think it should be an 18 playoff because it's like
Okay.
some of those schools that like get to play in it, it's like I don't know, it feels like it means less. If they wanted to do like a play-in game, like to get into the playoffs, that'd be fair. But these schools that are have losing records, the majority of them, like whether you play a tougher schedule or not, like I think you should also have to be good teams if you're gonna have a losing record.
Yeah.
Like
Like
for example, like Gregory didn't have like an outstanding record at the start because they played two really, really good teams. And then like they obviously didn't win it, but like they played well. And like how far did they get into the playoffs? Like second, third round?
I guess I didn't see it, I guess.
I don't recall either, but like I don't know. I just think that there should be there should be some restrictions. You shouldn't be having teams that are, I don't know, 4-8 getting into the playoffs.
Well, in 9B specifically, of the 16 teams that were in 9B, 9 of them had losing records.
And that's just my point. Like I think, and I mean, you can't obviously base it around like a good year and a bad year, but I think it needs to be dropped to like an 8 team, and maybe you have like four games before that be playing games
Yeah.
or something like that.
Uh, part
I don't.
of part of this whole debate is mainly focused on nine man. I think most of the people, well, they surveyed the coaches and all the coaches said, "Hey, we want to keep the three classes." Of course they're going to say that. They're benefiting from that system as it is. Um, bless you.
Sorry, I got the
um,
dad sneeze going.
yeah. But you know, I think I heard somewhere that I think it's the Activities Association Constitution or the NFHS Constitution
Okay.
says that if there is if the amount of nine-man teams drops below a certain number, you have to go back from three classes down to two, and it has dropped below that number. So
Okay.
we might have to drop down to two nine-man classes, and I think maybe consider adding a six-man class potentially.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about a 6-man class. I feel like I'm definitely not opposed to dropping down to two classes of nine man. I think with like as much of like playoff games that you'll see that are just like 50s like all around, like just early ending games. I think cutting down the classes to two would make sense. I don't know if I love the idea of a six man. Uh,
Okay.
I think, I mean, it's kind of up to the schools, but I don't really know what you would have to do to determine if you're going to do that, as well as I'm sure the coaching and the playing style of only having six guys out on the field has to be very, very different from what it normally would be.
Well, in football, I know if you go to these camps, they do 7-on-7 drills,
Okay.
and it's not too tremendously different from that. I think you just like take off like a lineman or something.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, but here are some things that I would like to see.
What would you like to see, Scotty?
Okay, I want to see obviously some more competitive matchups, but I want to see more unique matchups. So a couple of years ago, um, there was a home and home series where Pier played against West Central
Hmm.
at both Hartford and in Pier.
Okay.
I liked that. I want more of that.
Okay.
Um,
That'd be kind of cool.
yeah, I want more of these, home and home systems, home and home series where you're playing against a team that you might not normally play.
That'd be kind of cool.
Um, I would also like to see, and this is just from a pure storyline
Hmm.
driven thing. I want to see Pier versus O'Gorman,
Okay.
and
What what division is O'Gorman?
O'Gorman is 11 AAA, but
11 triple A.
they have enrollment numbers um that could put them in the class 11 AA system, but they've petitioned to move up to 11 AAA.
Hmm.
But the reason why I want to see that is there's some history within the coaching ranks.
Okay.
Um, Sioux Falls O'Gorman's coaches used to be Pierce coaches.
Huh.
So I want to see those guys,
That would be a pretty cool matchup.
yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see that matchup.
Hmm.
Something else I want to see is, we hear all about this referee shortage and how
Yeah.
there's, games starting at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hmm.
Um, what I would like to see is if you're two schools that are kind of close in proximity to each other,
Yeah.
not necessarily that you play each other, but that you have like a double header where you
That
have
would be cool.
like say Pier hosts the game, Stanley County comes over, they host the first game, then Pier gets the second game, and you have something like that
Okay.
where you know makes it easier for the officials, makes it
Yeah.
easier for
No,
the
I think that'd be cool.
broadcasters because the broadcasters don't have to move. They can call both games if they want to.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see that.
That would be cool. That is also a ton of football time.
Yeah.
That's because a high school football game goes what, 2.5 hours, give or
So,
take.
yeah.
Yeah, that that would be kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even thought of having a football doubleheader. That could be cool. I
Yeah.
think you would also definitely have to have the away team play first. Otherwise, I feel like, or like, if like let's say Stanley County was playing in Pier, I think you would have to have the Stanley County game first.
They did.
Otherwise, I feel like not as many people would show up. Whereas
They
like and like where like Stanley County is right next to Pier, it's a little different. But if you were gonna do like a double header, let's say like Lyman's playing Phillip and uh Jones County's playing Kadoka, I feel like you and like let's say you have that game in Lyman, I feel like you would have to have like the the Kadoka game first and then the Lyman game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like you're gonna have people like who aren't staying for
Yeah.
most or any of it.
I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, I feel like Sioux Falls kind of already does this
Okay.
because I don't know exactly where O'Gorman and Lincoln and all these schools actually have their football fields.
So O'Gorman's is actually like right below, right below like their thing, right below their school. It's
Okay.
kind of by where their track is.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that like Lincoln and Lincoln and like Roosevelt, I think both of them like play at Howard Wood Field
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah. Um I also would like to see, and people might think this is I mean this is you have to have kind of money for this a little bit,
Throw it out there, Scotty.
but
Give me that wild idea.
you know how Lyman does their live streams
Yeah.
and Peter does their live streams?
Hmm.
You might think, "Oh, that's the way it is for every school." It's not.
Yeah. Not all schools have live streams, and that's
I would like to see more of these smaller schools have live streams.
I agree. I think that'd be cool. Like, especially when you can't go to that game. Like, it is kind of fun listening over the radio, just because it feels like I don't know. It feels like something like that your parents would have done, and that's kind of cool, like a throwback. But at the same time, being able to actually watch that game is pretty satisfying. So if they made if there was a way of having like let's say just like smaller schools in general that maybe can't necessarily afford to have every game streamed live, if like a service from like the state could make it to some of those games so that
Yeah.
those could be streamed through like let's just say like South Dakota High School Activities Association or something like that. Granted, you're gonna have fees and stuff if it were them, but like if there
Yeah.
was like an outsourcing agency that like did that, that would be cool.
You mean like live ticket?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, because like whenever, and I run into this problem every time I try and watch Sully Buttes, like, I'll try and find a game for them and it's very hard because they'll play like the Harriet Selby's, the Falklands, and all these other schools, Sunshine Bible,
Hmm.
and they'll play these schools and it's hard to find a good live stream for that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just a live stream, but a good one. Um, and this is a pipe dream here, this
Okay.
last one, but I think it'd be very funny and very cool. Um, so if we do have all these games live streamed, why don't we have like a NFL red zone type thing where you can kind of whip around to all the games throughout the state and have somebody in a studio be like, okay, so this is what's happening here in Hot Springs, and then whip around, oh, this is what's happening in Sioux Falls.
That would be cool. I don't think that's possible for smaller schools. I think like maybe some of the double and triple A schools, you could see that. Like the Sioux Falls schools and Rapid schools, I don't think it would be hard to have someone there. But like
You,
where
you
you have
don't
so many like football games.
you don't necessarily need somebody there. You just take the live stream that school is already doing and you put it on their feed and then you narrate over it.
Again, with that though, you don't have like some of these schools like also don't have like the live streaming services.
Yeah.
It would be cool if they did something like that though. I don't foresee that happening, but it could happen.
Um, moving on to other topics.
Okay.
Um, speaking of Rapid City,
Hmm?
they are getting a amusement park apparently. Have
Damn.
you
Okay.
seen this?
I haven't. Now I have new summer plans.
Yeah, it's apparently gonna open in like 2026. It's
That
called
sucks. I
it's
wish it was next year, but
it's called Liberty Land.
Liberty. Nice.
Um, do you want me to show you what it looks like?
Let's see it, Scotty.
Okay, let me see. if I can find it here. In the meantime, uh, do you have an ad for us?
I sure do.
What is
So
it?
2023 has had some great moments. You know, you've had moments like Blink 182 releasing a new album that were great. And then you have other moments that weren't so great. And you know what I'm talking about, Scotty?
What?
Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth dying, dude. I
Oh
was mega
yeah.
bummed. Like
Yeah.
a few friends of mine have not necessarily a book, but like lists of quotes that random people have said. And mine that I was completely serious when I said it. Man, Smash Mouth's never gonna release a new album. And everyone was like, dude, no one has ever said that in their entire life. What are you doing? That's
But
my ad. Go listen to Smash Mouth. Their untitled album just turned 22 years old a few days ago. It's a great album. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Rest in peace, Steve Harwell. Great singer, great performer. Rip my guy.
and speaking of RIP, we forgot to mention this, but last week, but RIP to Teresa Longville.
Yeah. No, it's been a rough week in Lyman the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks. Like Teresa Longville died. Paul Olson, which um that that hit pretty hard because it's like, man,
Yeah.
I've known Paul forever. Paul was at every single sporting event in the Lyman Gardens.
Yeah.
I I hadn't thought about him in a while, but like,
Uh,
man, I'm gonna miss seeing that guy around.
and on the Stanley County front, this happened literally the day after Pier. I think it actually happened the day that Pier won, which kind of put a damper on things.
Yeah.
RIP to Hayden Schmatz, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Oh, okay.
Um, he's a 19-year-old kid.
Oh
Um,
shit.
yeah, he was hugely influential um in the little community of Fort Pierre. He was like a firefighter.
Oh
You know, he
man.
did darts. Um, he he was just awesome kid.
Yeah.
So,
No,
um,
that's
that
that's a
that that
bummer.
that said, in other notes, are you ready for this?
All right, let's hear it. Let's see it.
All right. That is Liberty Land. Um, I don't quite know what the amusement is.
I was like, this looks more like an apartment complex. Like
Yeah.
they just building the new university.
I would show it, but I think it's copyrighted by Coda. But
Okay.
yeah, it says the mixed use development was unanimously approved by Rapid City Council members and will include an indoor water park, hotel and conference center, an indoor outdoor amphitheater, a themed RV resort, and Liberty Village, a mixed use neighborhood providing housing, retail, and dining. It's supposed to provide an economic boost to the city, supposedly.
I
Uh,
mean, it's the hills are keep getting bigger and bigger. Like
yeah,
I'm, I'm not crazy surprised. Although I will say that model is it looks wild. It
yeah.
it does not look like an amusement park.
Yeah, I don't foresee it being too tremendously great, but then again,
It is South Dakota.
yeah, because the people that will probably hate on it locally in the town of Rapid will probably be the first people to show up.
Probably.
Because
Yeah.
that's
No,
usually
there's
how it
there's a lot of
happens.
duality there. But
Yeah. And on top of that, I feel like people in Rapid miss the days of the old water slides that
oh yeah.
that used to
And Rushmore Water Slides was awesome.
yeah.
I remember going there once when I was pretty little. And nah, that was a really fun time.
One thing I learned about Watiki, you
Mhm.
know about Watiki, of course.
Oh yeah.
One thing I learned about Watiki is if you're staying in that hotel,
Hmm.
supposedly you have to still pay like an entrance fee in order to go into Watiki. It's not part of like your room.
I feel like that just kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. All I
But
know is if I'm staying at that hotel, the only reason I'm staying there is to go down water slides.
yeah. Um and now we're gonna go back to a damper of a topic.
Okay,
Um Mitchell's had a bad year. The town of Mitchell's had a very bad year.
dude, no kidding. Like, I I've eaten at that Perkins at a lot of different drills, like because that's where I drill out for the
Okay.
guard band. And man, there have been, especially in the last like couple of months, like that's been like a go-to, like after after the day is over, like, hey, let's go eat somewhere. Where do we want to eat? And a lot of times it's just been Perkins. So
So
that that really stinks.
so in Mitchell, so that obviously what you're referring to is the Perkins and Mitchell burning down.
Yep.
Um in Mitchell, I think Burger King has closed. Hardee's has closed.
Hmm.
Whiskey Creek has closed.
Oh, Whiskey Creek's closed.
Yeah.
All right. Did not care about Burger King at all because let's be real here. Burger King is extremely hit or miss.
Yeah, that's true.
Hardee's, it's kind of whatever. Whiskey Creek is pretty darn legit. Why did they close down? Just not enough business, or
That's well, I think they're close. Let me check just to make sure that I'm not
is
speaking
it
out of
not just
turn
like
here.
renovation
Um,
or maybe health code thing?
let me see here. Um, I don't know exactly, but I saw one of my people said that Whiskey Creek. Yep. This happened in August of this year. They announced their closure in August. They are permanently closed.
That sucks, dude. I
Yep.
I didn't know that they closed.
Yeah. So, and this is coming off of a year where their baseball team had a hazing scandal this summer.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear everything about that, but man, not not a great year to be in Mitchell.
No. No. So, yeah. The Hardee's, which closed down in Mitchell, is the third Hardee's in I think a week in the state of South Dakota to announce its closure. Brookings has announced it. Sioux Falls, I think, announced it. Um, it wouldn't surprise me. I really don't want it to because where the hell am I gonna get my cinnamon raisin biscuits now that they're back? But I mean, the one in Pierre closing down would not surprise me.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't surprise me much.
Yeah.
Now, if they wanted to do something cool and put like a Culver's or a Taco Bell at the one in Pier, I think that'd be great.
Well, I've campaigned for Culver's and people are like, "Oh, who's gonna work there?" And it's like, well, you have to give people a reason to come to the town and give people housing for the town and just yeah, it's a whole long story. Like
Man,
yeah,
housing,
a town can't grow if you don't try.
yeah, no, I'm taking a business law class at this point, and one of the things we were supposed to research was like a scandal, and I I did mine over like the housing market because there was a housing market scandal in Missouri that came up recently where they were like artificially inflating like um the commissions for like their agents, but like I can't exactly explain it, but like no, like there's a lot of reasons behind like the housing market sucking. COVID is kind of the main one, but
Hmm.
also some of this like artificial inflation has played a role. Now, I don't know if that's been the case so much in South Dakota, but I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing more cases of like people being like, "Hey, this was because like it went through the National Association of Realtors." So I'm wondering if we're gonna see more of that, and not just in like Missouri.
Okay. Um, speaking of COVID and things that I dislike,
Ah,
um,
yep,
Rudy Gobert. Are you aware of who Rudy Gobert is?
I know the name. I can't tell you why I know the name.
He used to play for the Utah Jazz in the NBA. He now plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
Last night, they were playing the Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
and Draymond Green,
Mm-hmm.
who I think you might know.
I'm familiar with the name.
Yeah, Draymond Green choked him. like
Nice,
like came up from behind him and looked like he got him in like a sleeper hold. And
nice.
thank you for that, Draymond.
I'm not
Um,
much of a basketball guy, but once in a while it can be cool.
yeah. Um, it,
Obviously, that's no form of sportsmanship, but that
yeah.
is that is kind of funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you like seeing that in your NBA basketball?
Ah, you see, I don't really care for the NBA. Like like I don't watch a ton of basketball, but if given the option to watch the NBA or watch college basketball, I'd much rather watch college.
Okay.
Like and like I think I'm that way about like professional football too. I think the NFL is okay, but I think I'd rather watch a college game.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, no,
But
I'm not a huge fan of the NBA. However, like I don't think that like that sort of behavior is good for the NBA. Don't get me wrong. As a fan of UFC, seeing a sleeper hold would be pretty sweet. But on the other hand, that doesn't really belong in basketball. So
okay, I can
I
see
can
your point.
understand people liking it or not liking it.
Okay, I can see your point. Um, talking I mean, I loved it. I can remember like it was yesterday. It was my 29th birthday.
Okay.
And so I go up to to the field house here in Pier, and I sit down at a table not far from the touch tunes, and I'm looking up at a TV up at the bar, and I'm getting
Yep.
kind of excited because
Hmm.
it's the Warriors and the Jazz, I think it was.
Okay.
Something like that. It might have been the Mavericks and Jazz. Might have been the Clippers and Jazz. All I know is that the Jazz were involved.
Hmm.
Um, and the game was called off because uh somebody on the Jazz had tested positive for COVID.
Ah.
And then you go to the press conference, and Rudy Gobert is touching all of the microphones like a fucking goofball. And,
Nice.
and it came out later he was the one who had COVID.
Of course it was.
So, I mean, that man shut down the NBA. Talk about defensive player of the year. Got the league to stop. Um, so yeah, that's
No
why
one is scoring any points because of me.
yeah,
Defensive MVP.
so that's why I hate Rudy Gobert. So,
That's fair.
he ruined my birthday.
Oh,
um,
yeah, that'll happen to a guy.
um, on the NFL front, um, what the hell happened to Josh Allen?
Dude, I football in general, like I feel like this is such like a weird year.
Yeah, I'd
Like
agree.
like I feel like it was either last year or 2 years ago. It was like exciting because like teams that weren't good like were starting to play better. But it's just like there is no consistency in the NFL right now.
Yeah, like the Broncos could, I mean, they have a path to being a playoff team, and
Yeah.
and they lost to the Dolphins 70-26 or something like that earlier this season.
Yeah.
How the hell are they a playoff team?
Yeah. No, that's just showing like how like wild like football is starting to like look this year.
Yeah,
And the
you're
Lions actually don't look completely awful this year.
they're 7-2. They're seven and
Like,
two. That's insane. Yeah, your Sunday night football matchup this week is the Denver Broncos, led by Russell Wilson, who apparently remembered how to play football again.
uh,
Um, and they're going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who have a freaking astronaut as their quarterback now.
yeah, Kirk Cousins getting hurt last week hurt. Or not last week. Was it last
Two
week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, no, that definitely hurt the Vikings. And I'm not a Vikings fan, but I really hate the Broncos. So, you know what? Skull. Go Vikes.
What's your take on um this Joshua Dobbs guy? The guy he
Uh,
here's his story. I think he started off the year as a backup for the Cleveland Browns. They cut him, and then within a week he gets signed up to play for the Cardinals. And he started like the first like 7 games for them. Then he gets traded away to Minnesota. So he's been on like 3 teams in like 2 months. Um, he, and I think he ended the year for the Titans last year or somebody. He's played on 4 teams in a year, 4 or 5 teams in a year.
four or
Just in
five teams in the year of 2023.
Yeah,
That's that's a couple. That's a couple of teams, Scotty.
yeah. And the crazy thing is, well, he was at Tennessee. He got his like aerospace thing, and he's literally like he could work for NASA right now, but he's playing quarterback for the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just building a backup plan for if this goes bad, he can just run away to space, hide out up there.
The funny thing is I saw it was a meme, and it's like Joshua Dobbs feels like the protagonist of a Disney Channel original movie, where at the end he's like, "All right, Houston, we have to chart a course for Las Vegas. We got to take these Vikings to a Super Bowl. God damn
Yeah,
it!"
maybe that could be it. Honestly,
Yeah. Um. Let's see here. Logan Paul. Did you
uh,
see? Did you see? He is your United States champion in WWE right now.
I did see that. I saw he also retired from boxing,
Mm-hmm.
which I think we should use that term boxing very loosely
Yeah.
because
If Francis Ngannou can almost beat Tyson Fury.
yeah, and to be fair, I know a UFC fighter is almost never gonna beat like a boxer specifically, like when it comes to that. I hadn't gotten taking it though, because like that guy, have you seen that guy throw a punch? That guy hits like a truck.
Ngannou?
Ngannou, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, he is a scary man.
All right.
I I don't know. I didn't watch the fight because I'm pretty sure that all boxing is fixed.
Yep.
But so paying for something that's feels scripted, not not really it for me. However, I don't know. I I'm not really for it. Just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to put a pause right here because I need to turn my lights on.
Okay.
All right. Um, yeah, I couldn't read my paper. It was so dark
Oh,
in here.
okay. That's fair.
Yeah. So Yeah, but Logan Paul, he's your United States champion. He beat Rey Mysterio.
Oh boy.
Almost saved him from
I
near
saw that. Like he almost
yeah.
like caught his neck on like yeah.
Yeah, almost brained himself, Rey Mysterio did. Um
That would have sucked.
yeah. So shout out to Logan for that, but he's in a little bit of hot water because
Okay.
um I don't know if you know this, but WWE has a rule
Hmm.
that if you are champion, you can do whatever you want with the belt. You just can't do anything sexually explicit with it.
Oh, is this about the picture of him like with the belt on? Like,
Well, that I mean, people have done that for ages,
yeah, I assumed as
but
much. What did he do?
he he talked about this in like something. It's like some video that he did with his brother Jake, where he's like, yeah, they said there's just one rule, you can't have sex while you're wearing the belt. And uh I'm hearing this, I'm like, I hear you, but I'm just clapping these cheeks while wearing this belt, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Logan, you cannot be saying that.
Dude, some
This
people's kids, man.
this is uh a company that has had people have uh sex tapes released
Uh-huh.
where they did some sexually explicit things with the belt. So you cannot do that. You
Yep.
cannot be insinuate that you're doing that.
Yep. That'd be the Paul brothers for you though. Not
Hmm.
that smart.
They were, correct me if I'm wrong, weren't they really good wrestlers in like Ohio somewhere?
I know Logan wrestled in college. I don't know about Jake. Jake was busy being on Disney Channel.
Really?
But yeah,
Is that how they got famous?
I think so. I don't know everything about like how they got big, but I know that like that's that's how Jake got his start. I don't know everything about Logan's backstory. I know Logan did wrestle. I don't know if he wrestled D1 or not. I know he was D1 or D2 though.
Um, so kind of a weird transition here, but speaking of people that I feel like I've gotten a greater appreciation for this person, but
Yeah.
first of all, before I start in on this person, what's your feelings on country music?
Mm. Hot garbage, Scotty. There's a few people who I think are pretty all right. As a rule, I'm not a country guy. I think
Oh,
Zach Brown Band is all right. I don't actively listen to him. I think Chris Stapleton is pretty good
okay.
from what
Thank
I've
you.
gathered. Morgan Wallen, nope, not it. Zach Bryan, nope, not it.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nope, won't back down, Scotty.
You watch your tone,
Orange
young.
doesn't rhyme with anything. Something in
You,
the orange is the dumbest song.
you watch
Stand
your
by.
you watch your tone, young man.
No, Scotty. Zach Bryan, like, not it.
Don't make me send you back to Block Island. Anyways, Post Malone.
Goated. I love Posty.
Uh,
He's
po,
great. I haven't
po,
listened to any of his new album, but like he he is a very, very talented man.
he uh he performed at the CMAs last week with Morgan Wallen and Hardy. I think we might be seeing a little bit of a country phase for old Posty.
Oh, he's good now. Why would they do that to him?
And you might think, oh, that's surprising. The man's from Texas, I believe.
That sounds right. I could see him being from Texas.
Yeah, that's
That
prime
surprises me though that he would go a country route because like everything I've seen of him, he's done rock covers. Like
yeah.
he and Travis Barker, and I couldn't tell you who the other guitar player was. they did like a live stream where they played all of like I think all of like the Nevermind album, like like a Nirvana whole live stream. Uh and then a year or two ago had a cover of can't think of what the song's called,
It's a
by
Hootie and
Hootie
the
and the
Blowfish
Blowfish.
song. And Only Want to Be
Only
with
Want to Be
You.
with You.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. And that cover,
that
I
was that
I'm a big
rocked.
fan.
That rocked. I love
I
that.
heard that when I started working at Menards, and I was like, this is great. And then a week later, Ian sends me a text, dude, you should listen to this cover. I was like, dude, this cover is awesome.
Yeah.
And then
Um.
recently on Howard Stern, he did like a cover of a song by Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was, but
But
so him
anyways,
going in a country route really surprises me because all of his covers have been like Hootie and the Blowfish isn't like a rock song or a rock band necessarily, but like everything that I've seen him cover has been more rock related or grunge.
and um, the song that he covered or helped cover was "Pickup Man" by Joe Diffie, which is a wild choice for Post Malone.
Interesting. Okay. I don't think I'm familiar with that.
Okay. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and
No,
give it a listen because,
I'll
well,
give it a shot.
first of all, Hardy. I don't know if you're familiar with Hardy. He looks like if Kid Rock was 20 years younger. Um,
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
that's the
Because
best
I
way.
do love me some Kid Rock.
That's the best. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the
You
best
don't
way
like
I
Kid
can.
Rock?
No,
You're not a ba with the ba to bang diggy diggy?
he has like two good songs.
No, he's got a few.
But
But
anyways,
those two songs both go hard.
also at the CMAs, there was a duet of Winona Judd, and I'm sure she's a little too old for you to know who that is.
Nope,
And
don't know.
Jelly Roll. Are
I've
you
heard of Jelly Roll. I don't know who that is though.
you probably hear him at least 3 or 4 times if you listen to the radio. That song "Need a Favor" plays all the goddamn time.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I do not actively listen to the
he
radio.
he also does "Son of a Sinner," which also got like huge plays. Um,
Nope, I'm blanking, Scotty.
but yeah, he's an interesting cat. I
Okay.
feel because you look at a guy like him, with all the tattoos and how big he is, and he overcame addiction, from what I know.
Mm-hmm.
Married a former prostitute, and kind of they all both like turned their life around or
Good for
something like
them.
that. Um, an interesting story, very interesting story. So if you get a chance, look up some Jelly Roll.
Okay. Okay.
There's another person in the country music space that I'm kind of interested in for completely different reasons than her
Oh what?
music. Are you familiar with Lainey Wilson?
No. All right. Let's go to Google real quick. Let's see who this is. Let's see why Scotty
Oh
likes Lainey
no.
Wilson.
Oh no. Um,
Scotty, are you for real with me right now?
what? What's
Oh
wrong
my
with Lainey
goodness.
Wilson?
She is good looking, but I
Thank you.
also don't watch MTV music videos anymore. So
Nobody
you
does
don't.
because
I
MTV
know,
doesn't.
so you don't have to be good looking. You just have to have a good looking album on Spotify.
But she gained popularity because she was on the TV show Yellowstone.
Haven't watched. I've heard it's good.
Um, and also she's got uh a butt that has captured the imagination of millions, supposedly.
Scotty
Um,
included.
I'm not a butt guy either, so I mean that tells you
I
everything.
don't know about that, Scotty. You just said I found someone I'm interested in, but not for their music. It's like, all right,
Well,
Scotty. All right.
the thing is that she's going to be in Sioux Falls, I think, sometime next year, and I'm very strongly considering going. And some one of my boys was like, dude, she could be your Taylor Swift and you could be Travis Kelsey. And I'm like, hell yeah, I would love that.
Dude, that'd be sick. Be
Yeah.
pretty tight, dude.
But speaking of, did you see that Taylor Kelsey, Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift were in Argentina this past weekend, and she changed up the words to one of her songs to
Oh boy.
say karma is the guy on the Chiefs that's coming home to me. Stop.
I
Stop. Stop with the stop with the love fest. I don't like it.
I don't want to start a war on your Facebook page, so I'm just not gonna say anything about Taylor Swift. I will just say not for me.
What you don't like you don't find her music good? You don't think she's
No, Scotty, I don't. I have ears. I like good music. I'll give you the
uh,
early Taylor had some bangers.
yeah, she did.
Like uh
Our song is a slam scream
that's the one I'm
doors.
thinking of. I was like, can't tell you what it's called. That one's heat. And I love I Prevail's cover of Blank Space.
Yep.
Well, I don't need any more Taylor Swift than that.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned him a little bit. How do you feel about Chris Stapleton?
Uh I don't actively listen to him, but he strikes me as a pretty good dude. And
Yeah.
like his music doesn't just feel like, hey, what's gonna sell?
hmm
No. I
he's also going to be in Sioux Falls and Rapid in May of next year.
okay.
So that's going to be another concert I might have to consider going to.
That'd be cool.
Um,
I don't have any concerts planned for next year.
um, in kind of a more comedic uh story here.
Mm-hmm.
In Italy, a lion escaped from the circus and was out on the prowl until I think earlier today.
Huh.
Just
That's
run
not stuff of nightmares at all.
just running around Rome,
Living life.
just being a lion.
Just found him in the Coliseum, chasing after Russell Crowe. I
uh
just watched that for the first time recently, Scotty. Dude, Gladiator? That movie's awesome.
hold on. The first time ever?
Yeah, I had never seen it. I'd heard it was good, but like I didn't own it and it wasn't on anything. And it came on Netflix and I was like, I've been meaning to watch that. I should check it out.
Then again, I think that came out like 4 years.
99,
I was gonna say about 4 years before you were born.
98 or 99, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty awesome. I'm a fan.
Early Joaquin Phoenix in that movie.
Very early Joaquin Phoenix. Are you excited for Napoleon?
Dynamite?
No, well, I love Napoleon Dynamite. I'm always excited for Napoleon Dynamite, Scotty.
uh,
That's who I went as for Halloween this year.
are you shitting me?
Yeah,
Oh my
because I had a
God.
vote for Pedro shirt with Pedro Pascal on it, and I had fire
Oh,
boots.
oh my
So I
God.
was like, I'll just tuck my jeans into those. I'll go
Speaking of
find a dumb wig.
speaking of Pedro Pascal, he is in talks to play Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
So, um,
Is that going to be MCU or is that going to be its own thing?
I think so, yeah.
Ugh, I'm played out on the
I
MCU,
was just
man.
gonna say I'm tired of every movie being a superhero movie. Give me something new.
Like,
Give me something original.
I I think MCU was good until Endgame. And
Yep.
after Endgame, it's like there doesn't need to be any more superhero movies for a while.
Yeah. I mean
That being said,
it was called Endgame for a reason. We should have just stopped.
that's where it should have ended. The two Spider-Man movies, awesome. The two that
Although
came after.
I did like Spider-Man No Way Home. I did.
No Way Home was great. I really, really liked Far From Home. I I enjoyed both of those.
Yep.
However, it's like Marvels or whatever, don't care. Uh there was another one that like just tanked last year in the box office.
I mean
It wasn't like
the
The
Flash
Immortals,
did,
but it was
but
something like that.
the Flash definitely tanked.
The Flash tanked.
I
I
mean,
heard that wasn't
how do
super
you
terrible.
how do you waste Michael Keaton like that?
That's a really good question. Like, I don't know, man. I I didn't
Um,
I didn't see it, but
anyways, the question I was going to ask before we went on a Marvel superhero tangent. How would you feel about a lion just running around where you're living?
I mean, we're not that far from the Great North, Scotty. So polar bears running amok in the streets is nothing new. So a lion, we welcome them. They can come hang out. Maybe chase away some of the polar bears up
But,
here.
but by the way, and I've noticed this. I haven't mentioned this.
Yeah,
It looks like you're in a lot better place than the prison dorm room that you were in the last
yeah.
time you
Nah,
were
this
on
is
the
my
show.
apartment, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty all right.
Who's that right behind you there?
Oh, that's Shay.
Oh, what? McClanahan?
Yeah,
Why is he there?
Ian has the same poster.
Oh my God.
It's not Shay. It's Aesop Rock,
Okay.
but there's a picture of him, and he looks very similar to how Shay looked in college at some points. And on the, you probably can't see it, but on the poster it says "Must not sleep, must warn others," because that's a lyric from one of his songs.
Okay.
And Ian and I used to always joke, "Must not sleep, must flip burgers."
I noticed you also have an Atlanta Braves hat. Why?
All right.
Is that a Philadelphia Flyers hat? What is that up there, right above the poster?
Above the poster, no, that's Jay Robinson. That's a wrestling camp I went to in
Oh,
high
okay.
school.
Okay. Um, in kind of a sad, I'm not sure if it's sad. Well, it is sad because you don't want to see an entire country disappear off of the face of the earth, but it feels like we're about to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Iceland. Have you paid attention to what's happening in Iceland?
I know absolutely nothing about what's going on in Iceland.
So overnight they had 800 earthquakes,
Ooh,
and they're preparing for an impending volcano.
damn,
We might be losing Iceland very soon.
that sucks, dude. Never been, and I've heard Iceland is
I've heard
gorgeous.
Iceland is beautiful.
Heard it's very, very nice.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else sucks? The National Toy Museum, and I am excited for this.
All
Um,
right, let's hear it. What's in it?
um, so the story isn't necessarily what's in it; it's what's not.
Okay,
So
what is?
so this is what's in it right now. So they're recent inductees for toys into the Hall of Fame. Baseball cards. Uh, just one problem. Not a toy.
Not
Baseball card.
really, no.
Yeah, baseball cards are not a toy. Cabbage Patch Kids. Okay, I can understand that.
Okay,
I didn't know that this is what this was called. The Fisher Price Corn Popper.
okay, yeah.
Um,
I
uh, yeah. Nerf toys, which I guess that including Nerf guns. I guess
I don't know because Nerf guns haven't been around crazy long. They kind of got popular when I
yeah.
was young.
View all inducted toys. Alphabet blocks.
Okay,
American Girl dolls. I can understand that. The
yeah,
the
makes sense.
Atari
Makes sense.
2600 game system.
You see, I don't know if I consider that a toy or not. I
Yeah.
think you could call it that, but also, I don't know.
The baby doll, a baby doll. Um, yeah, and I think there's probably more. Um, but yeah, yeah,
So what is it? What is
let's
it missing? Because you said
um
what is not in it
well,
is
there is something that is not in the National Toy Museum, and He's apparently not enough for the National Toy Museum.
Man,
Ken.
I thought that movie would never end. Now this is happening. Dude, did not care for that movie.
Yeah, but even though you didn't care for that movie, Ken and Barbie, I think both of them are not. I could be wrong on that. Not in
Oh
the
darn.
National Toy Museum or
Shoot.
Toy Hall of Fame. Uh, they deserve that.
Huh? I'd agree.
Yeah. I kind of like to end this with a little bit of a little bit of a game, a little of a bit of a brain teaser. Um, do,
Oh,
do,
Scotty, you know I'm dumb. This isn't gonna go well.
that's why I can help you. Do you want to play the dozen?
Sure.
Which is what we played last week.
Okay.
Um,
Scotty, I do have one question for you though.
yes.
Have you seen so show recently came out. Did you see Fall of the House of Usher?
Okay. Your brother told me to watch that last week, and I have
Dude,
not.
that show is the shit. It's so good. Cause oh, you moved from Presho
Yep.
after, but in middle school, with Chad Johnson, Ian and I both read lots of Edgar Allan Poe stories. I think it's maybe seventh grade year that you do that,
Yep.
and
That
like
that
I
that
snuck
it
out
was I
all of
think it was
those.
seventh or eighth grade year for us in
Yeah,
Hill
no,
City.
um, no. So Edgar Allan Poe, like creepy, but also very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that movie was or that show was awesome. You should definitely check it out.
Baltimore legend Edgar Allan Poe.
He was quite the guy. His story is very interesting.
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it, Scotty.
All right. So we have 9 categories.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
I
which
see
one?
two that are gonna go horribly.
Okay. Um, which one would you like to start with?
Uh how do I do the best? Do I get answers wrong first or answers wrong last?
Like what do you mean?
Well, I see seven categories that I can probably do acceptable in, and two that I'm gonna tank.
Okay.
And by two I mean probably
You
three.
can go wherever you want on this
All
board.
right, let's go. Let's go
And
history. Let's see how that
all
goes.
right. And for our audio listeners, allow me to read the question before you answer it.
Okay.
So, living from 1907 to 1954, this Mexican artist was known for her self-portraits, was married to fellow artist Diego Rivera, and had a brief affair with Russian revolutionary Leon Trotsky. I
Uh,
I want to say, is this Frida? Because that's a Selma Hayek movie. Um,
sure,
I want to say it's Frida. Let's see, Frida Kahlo. Is that it?
sure.
Bing. We're good.
Nice.
Next one.
All right, let's try celebrity mashup.
Okay, so this is where you have two celebrities and they're uh photoshopped together. You have to decipher which celebrity is which.
Okay.
Okay. Oh dear God. Oh no. Oh. Um.
Mm,
Okay, I think I know who it is. Who do you think it is?
okay, this is probably wrong. I keep thinking that it's like Chevy Chase
No, it's
is the
not.
old guy.
Nope.
Who have you got?
So I see Kathy Bates on the outside,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
then
I can
and
see
then
that.
and then I see James Spader on the inside from
Okay.
so let me type this in for us. And we got that correct.
Sick. 0-2 on my part. Scotty is backpacking.
I do this almost every day. I love doing this.
Okay.
What's your next one?
Let's try
Let's
grocery products. Let's
I feel like you could
finish
get
that.
this. Produced by
Produced by
Tyson, this brand of hot dogs has a baseball themed name and is typically packaged in a plastic wrapper with a transparent back black wrapper top and its name in yellow letters.
Oh god. I don't know what it is. I can see the package though.
I know what it is.
I'm just thinking it's like Jumbo Franks, but I can't think of what it's actually called.
When you go to a baseball game, where would you say you go to?
Just ballpark? Is that it?
Ballpark Franks?
Ballpark Franks? I like that guess.
Ding ding ding.
There we go. Okay.
All right, next up.
All right, let's just do my worst stuff now. Let's see how NFL goes.
Okay. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Tom Savage was the week one starting quarterback for what AFC team in 2017?
Scotty, I have no idea.
I will give you a clue. He's in the same division as your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Scotty, is he on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
No, he's not on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, well, shit. I don't know.
The answer is Houston Texans. I'm almost certain.
Taylor Swift.
All right. So that was correct.
All right, let's see college football.
Oh gosh. A two-time consensus All-American, this wide receiver played at USC from 2004 to 2006, totaling over 3,000 yards and catching 41 touchdowns. You were like 2 years old when this happened.
Yeah. Just gonna let you take the reins on this one, Scotty.
It's got to be Mike Williams. It's either Mike Williams or Dwayne Jarrett. I'm gonna go with Mike Williams. Fuck, it's Dwayne
Ah,
Jarrett, isn't it? All right. So we can't
It.
all right, so next.
Okay, let's do the MLB then.
Okay. What current day American League West team was Jose Canseco playing for in 1993 when a fly ball bounced off his head for a home run?
Wait. Oh shit! This is in Men in Black. Uh they were playing in New York. Is it the Mets?
No, it is not. I know the answer to this because I read Jose Canseco's book. I'll give you a clue. They just play in the World Series.
Oh god, Scotty. Uh uh I can't think of the other team. The Astros played, didn't they? Or no, the Texans. The Rangers, yeah.
Yep,
They played.
you got it correct there.
Okay.
All right, next.
All right. Let's do television.
Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson starred in this Fox musical drama series from 2015 to 2020.
Is it Glee?
It is not. I know the answer to this one as well.
God,
Um,
I have no idea.
Taraji P. Henson. The only thing I know about this show is that Taraji P. Henson played a character named Cookie. This show also had what's his name? Jussie Smollett was on this show. It's Empire.
Ah,
All right, next.
you see, if they would have said Juice Smouye, I've watched Dave Chappelle. I would have gotten that right away. All right, let's do movies.
At the 1992 Oscars, who took home Best Actress for their role as Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs?
Oh, boy. I don't know, Scotty.
Uh, the answer is Jodie Foster. I'm
Jodie
what
Foster.
I am way too fucking. I need to get out more. Is what this is telling me.
Maybe. I'm not getting any of these, dude.
I know I'm getting all of them. Bye, Derek Lewis. Sorry.
Balls was
Um,
hot.
yeah. Music for the last to round it out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you do not get this, I will have to send you back to Block Island. A top five Billboard Hot 100 hit from 2006 and with over 1 billion Spotify streams. What band is known for their song Chasing Cars?
Scotty, how does this song go? I
If
know it,
I
but I
lay here, if I just lay
oh,
here, would you lie with me and just forget the world?
is this an obscure band?
Kind of. This is like the only song they're known for.
This is probably wrong. Is it OAR?
It is wrong. It's Snow Patrol. Remember Snow Patrol?
Nope. Don't remember them. I remember that song.
Okay, so we get a chance at double dip. It's got to be Dwayne Jarrett. It's got to be Dwayne Jarrett. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
if I know how to spell
Scotty, this
Dwayne
went
right.
horribly.
For you, it did. For me,
I don't know any of these questions, dude.
oh my God, there it is, Dwayne Jarrett. Bing, 100%.
There you go.
Yeah, what this has shown is that I am a genius and you are not. So
All right, Scotty. You can think that. And you're probably right. I don't have a further
um
retort.
oh man. But yeah, that's our show. Have you just been drinking water? Is that what you've been drinking this entire time?
Yeah, just pounding water.
Okay, so
No, I'm not just like pounding vodka.
I because I think because we our last show was December 22nd, um 2022, and you're now 22
Two.
now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know if we've had you on since you turned 21, have we?
I don't think we have.
Okay. So with that said, go to order at the bar.
Ooh, probably a gin and tonic.
That's my boy.
Dude,
All
those
right.
are pretty darn good. Like,
Yeah.
and it's pretty hard to mess those up. Like,
Do you have a
if
preference?
you're at a bar, uh, I
Do you
think
have
it's okay to get a little more risky.
do
If
you
I'm
have a
not trying to look cool, a Malibu orange is pretty good. I don't mind those.
okay. Do you have a preference on gins?
I like Sapphire.
That's the right answer.
I if we're talking cheap gin that isn't terrible, New Amsterdam's not bad.
Yep.
It's pretty affordable and not doesn't suck. I have made the mistake of buying $10 gin that is god awful. Don't do that. Wouldn't recommend.
On the beer scale,
Ooh, see,
I,
it varies, Scotty. In the summer, I I really like I found out about Golden Road Mango Cart.
ooh, I have
That
seen
is
that.
barely a beer, but that is delightful. Those are real good.
Okay.
I
Okay.
also like I'm not a big IPA guy, but like a New England IPA or a hazy, those are pretty good.
Oh, like the Goose Islands that I was having last week?
Those are okay. I really like Sierra Nevadas.
Okay.
Um, but since we're getting into the winter months, uh, I wasn't really into them last year. This year, I'm realizing how awesome dark beer is.
Okay.
Uh, Oktoberfest beers, delightful. Like those are pretty good. I'm also like a sucker for Guinness. Guinness is pretty
Okay.
darn good.
I so, so, the way we're talking, it sounds like we have a problem, but
Nah, we're fine.
But uh I had just tried, because I had a year or two span where I just like didn't drink at all. And then I took one trip to Oneida and they didn't have any non-alcoholic beers for me.
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, fine, I'll have a Busch Light. First Busch Light in like 2 years. Not great. Not great
Bush
anymore.
lattes aren't it, man.
Yeah.
Especially for cheap beer. Like,
But then again, I'm not gonna go Bud Light either. Because I
I'm
know
not a Bud Light guy either. And
I'm a
it's not even about like,
I'm a Coors or Miller guy.
ooh, yes.
Um,
Coors
but
and Miller is good.
but I tried recently, because I love it when beer companies have their holiday flavors,
Hmm.
and Shiner has a holiday cheer,
Interesting. Okay.
um, which is it's like a beer, like an ale with that
Okay.
has notes of peaches
Mm,
and pecans.
okay.
So it tastes like a peach cobbler.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
very, very good.
Okay. I'm
Um,
gonna have to
I
try that.
I would
I'm
suggest
a I'm a
finding
big
that.
shine like I I had just known like Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Dude, Shiner is where it's at for Oktoberfest.
Hmm.
That's those are real good.
Yep.
Okay. What did you say it's called again, Scotty?
Holiday cheer.
Holiday Cheer. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
have to
found
check that.
it's if you're in Walmart, it's like, at least in Pier, I don't know if it's the way at every Walmart, but it's like
Hmm.
a couple of beers down from that mango cart you were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Mango carts. Those are
Is
delightful.
is that I've been intrigued by those. How, like, explain to me what those taste like.
So it's it's borderline like a cider. It is not super beery,
Okay.
but it is I would take that over like an Angry Orchard or anything like that. Like it's
You, you know what I haven't had in a long time, and I don't know if we can get them here in Pier. We had them a lot in Brookings. Have you ever had a woodchuck?
I have not.
Those are amazing. I love woodchucks.
I've never had a woodchuck.
God, I haven't had one of those in ages. Which I dipped my toe back in. Part of the reason why I wanted to get
Hmm.
back into drinking a little bit is because I wanted to try some of the ones I hadn't tried.
Okay.
And so I tried the um what's that, the Sunny D vodka seltzer.
Those
That's
are kind of whatever, but they're
that was
kind of good.
underwhelming. That was
It
underwhelming.
I will agree that it was underwhelming. I definitely thought it was like this is gonna be awesome, and then it was like this is okay.
Yeah,
This was not worth $10 for four of them.
no. And I wanted to see if high noons were still kind of the go-to for that kind of that seltzer game, and I would say that they are.
Yes,
Oh,
cart blisses aren't bad either. I don't know if you
okay.
ever had cart bliss. Those are.
Uh-uh.
I'm not a seltzer guy, but of ones I've had, high noons are good and cart blisses are pretty good.
Yep.
Vizzies aren't terrible either. I think I think I've
Truly,
only had White
Trulies
Claw
aren't
like
great.
twice. What?
I don't like Trulies.
Trulies feel like a lot of sugar.
Yeah. Um, and then what's the other one I tried like a 4 pack of like Sam Adams, like flannel the Sam Adams flannel pack that had like four
Mm,
different kinds,
okay.
with like Oktoberfest in it,
Hmm.
but they had something called Flannel Fest in it.
Okay. How was that?
Very good.
Very good.
Um,
Okay.
I very much like that one.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, um, it's it's good to have you back on.
Yeah, it was good to be back, man.
Oh yeah, and we'll see everybody else next week maybe? Question
Could
mark?
be.
Question mark?
We'll
Um,
see.
yep. See you later.